On September 7th, 2016, the United States Food and Drug Administration did something it has never done before. Quietly, almost stealthily, they revealed a plan to ban one of the most important memory-boosting supplements on Earth. Why? Is it unsafe? Well, not at all. As far as I know, there's never been a single serious side effect in any of the studies on this supplement. Thousands of people have been using it safely for almost 20 years now. So then they must have done tests showing it's not effective, and they're doing us a service by taking it off the market, right? Wrong. In fact, it's so effective, it's been through phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials. That means it's gone way beyond most supplements, and it's actually very close to meeting the standards for a prescription drug. And that is exactly what's behind this sudden ban. Let me explain. The FDA is supposed to work for us, taxpayers, the American people. But we know who they really work for: billion-dollar drug companies. And right now, Big Pharma is salivating over the profit potential of this powerful supplement. They're scheming to turn it into an expensive memory-boosting drug while taking the safe and inexpensive supplement off the market forever. In the next few minutes, you'll find out what makes this ingredient such a powerful memory booster, how Big Pharma plans to turn it into a drug, and how you can get and use this mental turbocharger at a fire sale price as part of our fight against Big Pharma's corruption. This is page 61,701 of the Federal Register. What's that? You've never heard of the Federal Register? Well, I'm not surprised. Not many people know about it, and no one actually reads it, that's for sure. But the Federal Register is the big, thick book where government agencies write down all the ways they're trampling the Constitution and stealing our freedoms. When the EPA creates a new regulation that destroys jobs, it goes in here. When the Department of Energy finds a new way to jack up our electricity prices, it goes in here. You get the idea. And just to give you a sense of how huge this thing is, the current Federal Register is well over 60,000 pages long, and that's just so far in 2016. Now, rest assured, the FDA knows no one ever reads this thing. So instead of making a big public announcement, instead of holding a press conference announcing they're ripping a safe memory booster away from thousands of unsuspecting seniors, only so their Big Pharma cronies can sell it back to them for 100 times the price, they slipped it quietly into the Federal Register right here on page 61,701, where it would slip by under the radar, or so they thought. See, word got around to supplement industry insiders, and we are not taking this lying down. More on that in a minute, but first, what exactly is this powerful memory booster, and how can the FDA get away with banning it? Well, it's called vinpocetine, and it's synthesized from the blue periwinkle flower. All the way back in the early 80s, scientists discovered that vinpocetine has some unique and ultra-useful properties that could make it a mind and memory-enhancing powerhouse. First, a study in 1985 showed that vinpocetine in IV form does something that makes it really promising as a brain booster. It increases blood flow to the brain by a staggering 25% in just 30 minutes. Now, sending more blood flow to the brain is like pressing the gas pedal on your car. It makes it run faster and with more power, which could mean faster thinking, fewer senior moments, and quicker recall of things like names and faces, if it could be proven in double-blind, placebo-controlled trials. But the first step was to see if taking vinpocetine orally in a capsule works as well as the IV. In other words, they had to make sure it was bioavailable. Otherwise, it wouldn't do you any good unless you were hooked up to an IV. But scientists in Germany proved that vinpocetine works just as well in capsule form. So the next step was to put it through major clinical trials and test for improvements in memory and thinking. And that's where things started getting really interesting. First, researchers showed that taking 40 milligrams a day of vinpocetine improved short-term memory of words and numbers after just 2 days. Now that makes recalling names, addresses, and phone numbers a snap. Not to mention, always being able to find the word you're looking for in a conversation without hesitating even for a second. Now, can you imagine having your friends and family members tell you how sharp and quick-witted you seem after just 2 days of taking this remarkable pill? And that's just the beginning. In the next study, they gave 42 elderly patients vinpocetine capsules, 30 milligrams a day at first, then 15 milligrams a day. Another 42 patients got matching doses of placebo pills. This time they measured results after 90 days, and wow, these seniors saw huge improvements in every single test of memory and brain function the scientists could throw at them. They went from regular 60 and 70-year-olds to lightning-fast brainiacs in just a few months. That's the power of vinpostine's mental accelerator, boosting healthy blood flow to your brain. And importantly, there were 0 side effects in the entire 90-day study. Friend, results like this turn heads in the scientific community. And with each new clinical trial, everyone got more and more excited about the brain-stimulating potential. It's like pure genius in pill form. No doubt, the pharma executives were licking their chops. Just imagine the profits a high-priced smart drug like this would generate. But in 1997, their hopes were dashed. A pioneering supplement maker filed the paperwork required to bring vinpostine to the market before Big Pharma could turn it into a drug. And thanks to his courage and perseverance, thousands of seniors have experienced the power of vinpostine since then. They felt firsthand how the increase in blood flow to your brain is like a surge in mental power, how remembering names and faces becomes lightning fast, how senior moments seem to disappear overnight. In short, it became the go-to memory-boosting supplement among those in the know. But now, as of just a few weeks ago, Big Pharma is at it again. They've reignited their campaign to steal this mental powerhouse from American seniors and sell it back to you at obscene prices. Their weapon of choice this time is an obscure law called 21 CFR 10.25b. Now, this law, which was no doubt written by pharma lobbyists to begin with, gives Big Pharma first dibs on the most promising ingredients, so they can turn them into drugs and sell them at obscenely high prices. And that's the plan for vinpostine. So what happens next? Well, the law I mentioned requires a waiting period of 30 days before the ban can go into full effect. After that, it could be banned on day 31 or any time after that. Until then, you can still get vinpostine at a reasonable price. Actually, through a special link contained in this video, you can get it at an unreasonably low price. Let me explain. My name is Brian Chambers, and I work with Dr. Mark Stengler at Best Health Nutritionals, America's most trustworthy supplement company. We're known for producing nutritional formulas that use the very best science-backed, safe, and effective ingredients to make a real difference in your health and your life. And it just so happens that vinpostine is one of the ingredients in our top-selling memory formula, CogniSense. Now, with the FDA's sudden move to ban this life-changing ingredient, we'll soon be forced to take CogniSense off the market. But for now, we're not stopping. In fact, we're doubling down. To stand against the corrupt FDA Big Pharma alliance, we're going to continue to sell CogniSense as long as we possibly can. But that's not all. Rumor has it that as the ban approaches, some supplement companies will be taking advantage of the situation to jack up their prices. Not us. Not only will we not participate in price gouging, we're actually doing just the opposite. For as long as we possibly can, we're making CogniSense available for a full 50% off the regular price. That's half off the single most powerful memory-boosting formula we've ever created. And I don't say that lightly, because not only does CogniSense contain 10 milligrams of vinpostine, each dose delivers 2 more of the most powerful memory boosters on Earth. Now, your private link to try CogniSense at 50% off the retail price will appear shortly. But first, let me show you what makes CogniSense the mental enhancement powerhouse it is. And let me be clear. If you worry about your memory, concentration, and focus, if you've had one too many senior moments, if you feel like you're walking around in a fog, or if you have a loved one, maybe your spouse or one of your parents, who's starting to worry you with their memory issues, this formula is designed for you. Imagine a future where your brain gets better. A future where getting older doesn't mean losing your mental edge. A future where you're not constantly looking for your keys or losing your train of thought while you're talking, or asking someone the same question more than once. A future where the fog is cleared away and you're free to enjoy life. A future where you feel focused, confident, and razor sharp all day long. And most importantly, it's a future where you stay in control of your mental faculties and no one ever has to worry about you. Of course, it starts with vinpostine and the gas pedal surge of mental power and energy it delivers. But if you're going to boost blood flow to the brain, why not make sure you're also delivering more natural compounds shown to enhance memory and thinking? Well, that's the whole idea behind CogniSense, to use vinpocetine's blood flow boost alongside a dream team of brain-enhancing natural ingredients, including a groundbreaking herbal extract codenamed CDRI-08. On the morning of June 6, 2014, 17 ordinary people arrived at the Centre for Human Psychopharmacology in Melbourne, Australia, one of the world's top brain research labs. They took a single dose of the compound codenamed CDRI-08. A little while later, they took an advanced memory test, and their results were jaw-dropping. Those 17 people trounced the placebo group and their own baseline scores. But that's not even the most amazing part. They took that test just 60 minutes after receiving the experimental compound. As the researchers reported it, seeing results that quickly from a single dose is almost unheard of. In fact, in my own research, I've never come across any brain-boosting compound that works that fast, not even vinpocetine. Just imagine if clearing brain fog, improving your short-term memory, and stimulating your ability to focus didn't have to take months. What if you could go from foggy-headed to sharp as a tack in the time it takes to watch a single episode of Law & Order? Well, that's exactly what happened in the research center. And here's where the story gets really interesting. This is why the discovery never made it to mainstream media. The experimental compound, CDRI-08, is not a new pharmaceutical drug. It's not a man-made chemical at all. In fact, it's the extract of a very special herb from India called Bacopa monnieri, which means it's wonderfully natural and it has a 3,000-year track record. And the modernized version of this powerful herb, CDRI-08, is what turned those 17 people into mental supermen in 1 hour. So maybe you're wondering, how does it work? Well, let me ask you, have you ever noticed how when people start to lose their memory, it's always their short-term memory that goes first? They can recall old memories like scenes from their childhood with ease, yet they can't remember where they put their keys or why they walked into the garage. Well, these things happen because our brains start to have trouble locking in new memories automatically. You see, even after our short-term memory starts to decline, most of us can still memorize new things if we make a conscious effort. For example, if you want to remember someone's phone number, you can repeat it to yourself every few minutes. Keep doing this for a few hours, and that number will usually lock in. In other words, it'll move from short-term to long-term memory. Now, this brute force way of memorizing works for most of us even after we start having memory issues. But who wants to go through that routine every time they need to remember something? It's your ability to remember new things without trying, to unconsciously move them from short-term to long-term memory. That's what it really means to have a youthful brain. That's what makes it easy to have flowing conversations, to remember driving directions easily, to avoid embarrassing glitches like forgetting someone's name while you're talking to them. It's called memory consolidation, and it's exactly what concentrated Bacopa extract helps your brain do effortlessly. And because it's highly concentrated, you can see measurable results after just one dose, in 60 minutes or less. Can you imagine feeling the fog lift that quickly? And with continued use, your ability to lock in new memories gets even stronger. Pretty soon, your brain is running like a mainframe supercomputer. Old memories are safe and secure, and new memories are locked in automatically. And you don't have to worry about getting tripped up on something simple like a relative's name. If anything, your friends and relatives wonder what your memory secret is, because the results are so noticeable and they happen so quickly. It's almost like getting a brand new brain in 1 hour, especially when you combine it with the mental turbocharge you get from vinpocetine, which is why Dr. Stengler made sure CogniSense includes the same dose of CDRI-08 that was used in that clinical study, because this natural compound, when used along with vinpocetine, could erase your worries about brain fog and memory loss. Just imagine having lively conversations with your friends and relatives, even your quick-witted grandkids, without missing a beat. Imagine feeling bright, calm, and focused in just about any situation you encounter. Imagine the sense of security you'll get, knowing you don't have to worry about losing your mental edge. Well, that's exactly why Dr. Stengler created CogniSense, and why we're so gung-ho to get it into the hands of as many people who need it as possible before the FDA's sudden ban goes into effect. Your 50% off discount link is coming, but there's more to the CogniSense formula. And that's because there's more to your mental performance than vinpocetine and Bacopa extract can handle on their own. Here's what I mean. As important as your memory is, there's another side of your brain activity that's just as vital. I'm talking about your ability to learn new things. Now, would you agree we live in a world where there's always something new to learn? Computers, then the internet, now smartphones, Facebook, and who knows what's coming next. Now, maybe you don't care about any of that stuff, and I can't blame you. But I bet you still want to keep learning, taking up new hobbies, trying new games and activities, traveling to new and interesting places, maybe even learning a new language or a musical instrument. And as I'm sure your doctor has told you, learning new skills is one of the best ways to keep your brain young. Plus, it makes life so much more fun and interesting. And what a lot of us don't realize is that when our memory starts slipping, our ability to learn new skills is on the decline too. That's because learning means making new connections between brain cells. And as we age, that gets harder and harder. There's a reason for that. You see, all the cells in your body use energy, but your brain cells use a lot more energy than other cells. In fact, even though our brains make up only about 2% of our body weight, they use about 20% of our energy. And nothing your brain does takes more energy than making new connections and learning new skills. Just think about everything you've learned in your life, starting with learning to walk and talk when you were little. Everything you learned in school, all the jobs you've had and the skills you had to learn to do them, all your hobbies, all the books you've read. That's why Dr. Sengler is so excited about emerging research on a compound called acetylcholine. It's a natural molecule found in small amounts in certain fat-rich foods like beef liver, eggs, and salmon. And it's one of the brain's primary fuels for making energy. Of course, it would be great if we could get enough acetylcholine from our diet. But as we get older, we need more and more to keep up with the changes in our brain. And even if you ate a serving of beef liver every day, you still wouldn't get half the amount of acetylcholine you need to make a real difference. Luckily, Dr. Sengler has discovered a powerful new form of acetylcholine called CogniSense. It's natural, pure, and water-soluble, which means it does what all the acetylcholine-rich food in the world can't. It delivers a fresh, potent stream of new energy to your brain cells. In a clinical study on 16 elderly patients, CogniSense acetylcholine increased brain cell energy levels by 14% in 6 weeks. Now that may not sound like much, but only until you see what a powerful difference this makes in your day-to-day life. Luckily, studies have measured that too. In tests on these 24 patients over age 65, acetylcholine increased word recall 23%, immediate object recall 19%, and delayed object recall more than 25%. Translation: it lets you learn new things faster and better than ever before, and remember them, because it gives your brain cells the energy they need to do what they're designed to do. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but clearly they never tried this. And keep in mind, when you combine the mental energy of CogniSense acetylcholine with a memory enhancement of vinpocetine and bacopa extract, it's almost like your brain starts aging backwards. Instead of getting worse as time goes on, your ability to learn and remember gets better. Your friends and family can't help but notice how sharp you are. They see you finishing crosswords in record time, rattling off answers to tough Jeopardy clues, and always knowing where things are like the TV remote or the phone. And soon they realize they'll never doubt your mental abilities. They may not know how you did it, but they know something is different. They can just sense your self-assuredness and mental quickness. If they ask, you can tell them all about CogniSense. Friend, you have an opportunity right now that will never come along again. The opportunity to experience the CogniSense effect for yourself for half what it usually costs. But remember, this all stems from the FDA's sudden ban on vinpocetine, which could go into effect any day. So please don't miss this chance. Just imagine how your life could change when your mind is running on all cylinders and you wake up every day feeling calm, focused, and energized. Imagine the sparkling conversations with your friends and loved ones. Picture the effortless way you recall names, faces, directions, and appointments. Imagine how confident you'll be when those senior moments are nothing but a distant memory. And just think about how much more in control you'll feel, how free and independent, knowing your brain will always be quick and agile. That's exactly why Dr. Sengler created CogniSense, and why he's so excited to offer it at an unheard of discount. And rest assured, this won't be one of those things where you think it's working, where you say, maybe I feel a difference, or I'll keep taking it for a while to see if I feel anything. You'll know it's working from the word go. There are real, measurable improvements in your brain power you could notice just 1 hour after your very first dose. And it'll only get better day after day. Picture yourself a few months from now, after taking CogniSense each day, realizing you're as sharp, focused, and alert as you've ever been. You can feel the mental energy increasing, the brain fog lifting, and the ease with which you remember details, almost like all your memories are right at the front of your brain, ready to snap in whenever you need them. My friend, I can't wait for you to experience what this formula can do for you. And you're so fortunate to have found this presentation today, because in just a second, a button will appear below this video, and that button is your ticket to try CogniSense at 50% off the regular price. And like all Dr. Stengler's formula, CogniSense is backed by a 100% no questions asked anytime guarantee, which means if you're not satisfied for any reason, you can always return your order for a full refund of the purchase price. And let me assure you, it really is a no questions asked refund policy. If you decide this formula isn't for you, just let us know. Call our friendly service team. The toll-free number comes with your order, and the very respectful person on the other end will issue you a prompt refund. We make it easy to get your money back because we know that for 99.99% of people who try this formula, it'll never be an issue. They'll be far too busy enjoying their newfound brain power to even think about a refund. And for the few who don't feel that way, the process is quick and easy. Click the button below now to place your 50% off order. You can review all the details before your order is finalized, and we'll rush your supply of CogniSense to your door. Try the formula for as long as you like. Remember, there's no time limit on the money-back guarantee. Really put it to the test. Try as many mentally challenging activities as you can think of, and pay close attention to the changes. Notice how much more mental energy you have, how you can stay focused on challenging tasks for as long as you need to. Notice how well you're remembering details, how quickly you can call up names, faces, and locations. Notice how easy it is to keep up with even the quickest moving conversations. Notice how you seem to be able to pick up new skills with ease, and how stimulating and rewarding it is. And please keep our guarantee policy in mind. If you're unsatisfied for any reason at all, just let us know and we'll insist on giving you a full refund. Friend, I urge you to click the button below now and claim your supply of CogniSense, because Big Pharma and the FDA really are scheming as we speak to make sure you don't get your hands on this formula. Let's remind them who they really work for, shall we? Please don't delay. Click the button below now.